Hello, my name is River Yeo. I'm a nurse and GAPS practitioner and a mom of this cute baby named Hosanna. This is my second video in a series all about the 3 reasons why I left nursing in the mainstream sense. Last week I talked about how I went from robot to relationship. If you want to check that out, see the link below. Today I'm going to talk about going from hopeless to hope for healing. If you have an autoimmune condition or gut health problems or any chronic condition, brain fog, trouble sleeping, difficulties with your weight, either gaining it or losing it, you name it, I'm sure you've bumped up against this at some point in your journey. Someone says to you, well, maybe it's genetic, maybe you inherited it, maybe there's nothing you can do, or there's nothing we can do. We can do a big barrage of expensive tests, but at the end of those tests, whether we have an answer or not, a label to put on it, there's actually nothing we can do to help you. Maybe there's some meds that could help to bash down your symptoms and make you feel that they're not happening, but the mainstream medical system, when it comes to chronic conditions, usually doesn't have an approach. I know this happened to me when I had really bad chronic fatigue. I was sleeping for hours and hours and hours, not feeling rested, feeling super sleepy and having a lot of brain fog when I woke up all day long. That lasted all day long, and no fault of his. My primary doctor said, "Well, I don't know what to do to help you," because they just don't learn that kind of stuff in doctor school. As a nurse, I was often the one delivering this message that this could be the rest of your life. You might have to be on this medication forever, the rest of your days. Those kind of hopeless conversations. This may be your new normal. And I really don't like having those conversations. And I was unable to continue to have those conversations once I learned that there is absolutely hope for healing. And it may not look like a pill in a bottle, a magic pill to heal your situation, but there's absolutely incredible hope. I have heard so many incredible testimonies since entering the alternative food as medicine space. People who were in organ failure and all of their labs came back to the perfect range just by addressing gut health with food. There's a whole book, let me show you, called GAPS Stories. Here it is. And this dove is so symbolic of, hope in the midst of seeming hopelessness situation of a flood. Yeah, it's full of stories of kids with autism, ADHD, developmental problems that were very serious that could have resulted in the rest of their life being mostly disabled. And through the power of good food from God's good earth, these people made it out of that disease state and are living a full life. Highly recommend that book. It's super encouraging. It has kids, adults, all kinds of conditions in it. But my story is that, I had horrible chronic fatigue and I felt kind of hopeless. I ate really healthy, I exercised, I even did a triathlon, but I was still really struggling with this chronic fatigue that would just keep coming back. It would get worse and worse every time I would travel overseas and take malaria medication. Now I realize that there was an association there, but I tried everything that the mainstream medical system had to offer at the time. I did all the tests. They're always coming up with more fancy tests to take, and they all didn't answer my question of why do I feel this way. So when I found Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride's book, I was like, oh my goodness, this is why. By understanding the problem, you can then begin to understand the solution, which gave me so much hope. this little gal is the result of that hope. Before I found GAPS, I had fear that I would have fibromyalgia like my mom, that I would be in pain, that I would be fatigued and unable to have the energy to do the things that I wanted to do in life, that I might have children with autism because that runs in my family. Now I have so much hope for a healthy family, a healthy future. I mean, just look at her. It's amazing. And I have so much hope that these days everyone has some kind of health problem, and it's become so normalized, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I have so much hope that as baby Hosanna grows up, that whatever she faces, whatever comes her way, that there is always going to be a way out. That there is a way out. I love that now when I have a new client, I don't have to give that Debbie Downer hopelessness spiel. I can actually speak hope into their life and say, you know what? I know things are bad now. You came to me with these problems, with these health struggles that you're having, but you know what? There is so much hope that you can absolutely overcome this with a lot of hard work, elbow grease, grit, and quality food. And maybe a few food-based supplements and some lifestyle change. Is it hard? Yeah. But I tell you what, I've been on the other side. I've been in nursing, and I've seen people cycle through specialist appointments, cycle through hospital visits, cycle through rehab and long-term care facilities, and it is way more work to go through that rigmarole than to actually address the root cause of the problem and to emerge from that healing process healthy and more alive, and to have no need for all of those incredibly expensive, exhausting, and stressful and depressing medical interventions in the future. There's a story about a man in the Old Testament who had leprosy, and he came to a prophet for help to be cured. And what happened was, and the prophet's servant came out to meet him and said, if you really want to get healed, then go over to that river and wash yourself 7 times and then you'll be fine. And he was so offended. He said, hey, this prophet man won't even talk to me face to face? Like, isn't he gonna do some ethereal, really dramatic thing and wave his hand over me and then I'll be healed? And no, I will not wash myself in the river. I will not stoop to that simple solution. I came here for a miracle. So he turned around. One of his servants said, hey dude, what are you thinking? Like, if the man had asked you to do something brave and drastic in order to be healed, then you would have done it. So why not give it a try and just do the simple, repetitive thing that he asked? So he did. He went to the river. He went to the river and washed himself 7 times. And I tell you what, he came out healed. There's a lot of things you could take from that story, but I like to retell it as an analogy for when people go through the Western medical system, oftentimes they're looking for that super higher up person to look down upon you and know exactly what's going on with you and give you a pill that will instantly make it better. Or maybe they'll ask you to do some really difficult thing like fast for a week before this surgery and then endure all of the recovery process. In this analogy, washing in the river means eating real food. And not just real food from the grocery store, but real food from the farmer, from your local farmer, or shipped from a farm that's not too far from you, who uses regenerative agriculture, natural farming practices. That stuff is nutrient dense, and you just might leap out of your bed if you eat that stuff. Your rashes might just clear up, your gut health might totally turn around, and yeah. It is good to have someone to give you direction in specifically which foods to get and in what order and how to prepare them, and according to your particular situation. So that's where GAPS practitioners come in. And I'm excited to be working with more and more clients lately that have found me through YouTube or podcasts and other means. If you are tired of hearing that hopelessness spiel from the mainstream medical system that I used to give to people and used to receive from my doctors, then totally reach out. Let's have a chat. There's absolutely so much hope that your health can be restored, can be taken to the next level. The path to healing is simple if you're willing to take it. This has been the Yo Wellness Collective with River Yeo. I look forward to sharing more about pharmacy to farms next week. And till then, I'll see you around. Look forward to hearing your stories, sharing your experiences in the comments below. If you like this kind of thing, then hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, all the buttons, and I'll be seeing you around more. Have a great day. Bye.